In this exercise, we'll be implementing the method for select. So the second pattern, so I'll say function. Now before we implement select, select is the only query which will result into a result set. So when I say select star, I'll be getting two columns, PID and PName. So if I try to create an array of string, I need to return an array, right? Now returning an array, so if there are four rows which will be which I'll get in the select query, that means the array should contain four objects. Okay, each object should represent one row. So in our case, I'm writing select star from person. A person table have two columns, PID and PName. So there is a need for me to create a pure model class called person, which will have two variables, PID and PName. So I'll say NS object person model, which is your table name, and this data structure will have PID as integer and PName as string. So for select query, it will always return you an array. So I'll say select all from person. It doesn't take any parameter because there is no question mark binding, and we'll say it will return an array of person model. So here you need to create a mutable array which will hold person model data, and you will say return person. Now you need to person model. Now we'll be executing the select query in a while loop, because till it gets the row, it needs to get executed again and again, again and again. So I'll say while execute select, and I'll pass select query. So depending on number of rows present for that query, that many times the while loop get executed. And in every while loop, you need to create an object of person model, and you need to say person dot PID equal to int, and that you will pass sqlite 3 column int, we'll say select column 0, because this sqlite column int will return you a primitive type integer that needs to be converted into swift int. Now for the p name, it will return the constant char, that's a C string. Now there's a process through which you need to convert your C string into your swift string. So there's a 3 lines which you have to use to create them. So first you will be creating a normal, so it will return you the C string. You have to create an unsafe pointer, you have to convert that into an unsafe pointer, and then you have to say string dot from C string that pointer. So these are the 3 steps which will be helping you to convert your C string into your swift string. And then you will say persons dot append person. So if your while loop get executed 4 times, there are 4 rows present, you will get 4 objects in your person. Now before you return, there's a one of the most important thing you have to do called sqlite 3 reset, and you have to say select person. Now if you go and execute update, the reset happens inside the wrapper class itself, whereas in execute select it doesn't happen, because for insert update delete only one row gets affected in a record set, and when you do a reset it will go back to the idle position, your cursor will go to the idle position. But for your select query, if you try to reset, your cursor will move from your idle position to a 0th row, again will move back to the idle position. So your select query will run in an infinite loop. You need to reset the cursor only when there is the last row of your record set comes. So in that case, once your while loop results into your false, you are assured that your cursor have traversed all the records in your select query, and now it's time for you to reset your cursor back to your original position. So that's very important when it comes to select query. So we are done with implementing the insert update delete pattern and also the select pattern. So in next exercise we'll be creating this person model as a singleton class.